Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. My name is Brian, and welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about a new paradigm that this generation needs to embrace. And I'm going to go back in history just a little bit. In the 60s and 70s and 80s, high school students were all told, you need to go to college to get an education. Because if you don't get an education, you're not going to make any money when you get out of school. Nobody wants to hire a high school graduate. And at the time, that was true. So, we all went to school. Now, I went to a state university and graduated with no debt. That was in the early 80s. Now, my daughter, my oldest one, went to school for 4 years to become a teacher. And then while she was doing that, she had to take out student loans. She told me that she will have her house paid off, which is a 30-year mortgage. She will have her house paid off before her student loans are paid off. And she will be retired when her student loans finally get paid off. That's outrageous. Now, American colleges used to be about education. Now, they're about indoctrination. The guy that started Harvard University used to be a conservative Christian. Did you know that? Look at what Harvard has become. I wouldn't, if I had a free ride, I wouldn't let any of my kids go to any public schools at all. Now most of them, including seminaries, believe it or not, there's only one conservative seminary left as far as I know. But now universities have become about indoctrination. They become about making money. Again, Harvard has billions. They're the largest one, and I can't remember what they're called, where alumni donate money. They're the largest in the country. American universities have become social experiments. They have become a hookup generation. They have become a woke incubator. They are controlled by the far left. Now, in fairness, when I went to school, I knew that some of the professors were liberal. Now, it's the exception to find one that isn't. Now, their personal politics aside, none of that should be in the classroom. I just found out the other day, this is no lie, that a university, I think it was out in Maryland, is offering a PhD in some music person's name. A PhD about a person. That's insane. So, if I recommend that my kids don't go to college, what do I recommend they do? Well, here's the logic that I use. If you go to school for 4 years, you get a bachelor's degree, go you. If you go for a PhD, you'll be there for 8 years. And I would tell my kids this, give me 8 years and I will teach you and make you wealthy in 8 years. And you can have a minimum wage job. It's very, very easy to do. It's very, very simple to do. It's not easy, but it is simple. So I think the Gen Z, they need to be taught, don't go to school. I mean, there are a couple of exceptions. I mean, if you are going for a degree that requires technical knowledge, You still don't have to go to university. Most of that stuff you can get online. But you have to get licensed, you have to have a degree, blah, blah, blah. Doctor, lawyer, computers, CPAs, those kind of things probably have to go to school. But any of the other degrees, business degree, homemaking degree, teaching degree, don't waste your time. Now, as I said, it used to be go to college and get a good job. I say, get out of high school, find yourself a mentor, and build wealth. By the time those guys get done with their doctorate degree and have $500,000 in student debt, you will be on your way to being a millionaire. Doing a little teeny job. In 10 years, you will be wealthy. And that's not hearsay. That's been proven over and over. Dave Ramsey says that between 10 and 11 years, if you follow his program, you will be a millionaire. And I make, as I've said many, many times, I make $15 an hour, and I'm ahead of schedule to get there. Now, while you're doing that, you need to learn to live as a college student. And I'm gonna end this video with a story about a young man that I did a video on 2 years ago. And at that time, 2 years ago, his credit rating was in the 500s. He had no idea about money or credit cards or debt, and he was swimming in debt, and he makes, at the time, he made $15 an hour. I sat down with him, spent a little time with him. It's now 2 years later. All of his debt is paid off. His credit rating is in the mid 700s. He's gotten 2 new credit cards. And he's got over $25,000 in cash saved. Plus, and that's not counting what he's got in his S&P 500 index fund, plus 2 retirement accounts. Oh, did I mention he's 23 years old? He didn't go to college. He's much further ahead than his friends that went to college and now have student debt. So I think it's time for Gen Z to have a new motto on life and to teach their kids to do it. And I just want to take a little second here. I've been giving this a whole lot of thought, and I just want to throw this in here. You know, they say that the first generation makes the money, second generation adds to it, third generation blows through it. And I know the reason for that is because the current generation is doing exactly that. Life is so easy and so soft and not challenging that they feel entitled. So if they want a new car, they go get a new car. My generation, when we wanted a new car, we exhausted everything else before we went into debt. And we saved for it. And we hated to get the new debt. And I'll tell you what made me think about this. I watched a video the other day, and this young girl, right out of college, was whining and complaining and crying in this video about she had to work 40 hours a week and couldn't afford to pay her rent. How is that right? Okay, first off, if you couldn't pay your rent, why did you sign the lease? If something happened, go get another job. You're 21, 22 years old. Our generation took 2, 3, my dad had 3 jobs, I've had 2 jobs for 30 years. Work, earn it, make it. This generation is soft. And if you don't believe me, ask them what they're triggered about today. Have them go watch a a TV series from the 70s called All in the Family, and then come talk to me about Triggered. That's about all I want to talk to you about. Just say no to college. You guys have a great day, a great week, and happy investing.